You know, I think about us, the three of us, what we could be. I think about it all the time.
Please. It's terrible.
No, it's not. I know June. She's my friend. I care about her. How's your day going? You look pretty.
Thanks. I wore it just for you. Our father's a driver named Nick. He helped me to survive. Yes, you can, because I can't lose you.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
What about you?
Your girlfriend is a badass.
Welcome to Above the Garage, a Nick and June, the Handmaid's Tale podcast.
Hi, friends. Welcome to our deep dive into Season 2, Episode 13 of The Handmaid's Tale, which is entitled The Word. Let's do a round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Claudia.
Hi, I'm Marigold.
Hi, I'm Tina.
And I'm Kate. I found that Walking on Broken Glass lyrics that I thought were relevant was basically she's just been totally like crushed. And I know it's about a relationship, but if you think of it in Gilead format, it's like the sun's still shining in the big blue sky, but it don't mean nothing to me. Let the rain come down, let the wind blow through me. I'm living in an empty room with all the windows smashed. I've got so little left to lose. It just feels like I'm walking on broken glass. If you're trying to cut me down, I know that you'll succeed. If you want to hurt me, there's nothing left to fear. If you want to hurt me, you're doing really well. Every one of us was made to suffer. Every one of us was made to weep. We've been hurting one another. Now the pain is cut too deep. So take me from the wreckage. Take me from the blast. Let me keep on walking on broken glass. Anyway, I just think general suffering of she's just taking so much shit from Gilead at this point. She's like, whatever. What notes did you guys have?
I have a parallel. So Rita is basically sacrificing herself for June to escape. And then in season 3, June sacrifices herself so that Rita and all the other kids can escape. Like when I thought of that, it like made me cry because I guess I didn't realize it the first couple times I watched this episode, but like Rita would probably be sentenced to death, you know, like luckily the Waterfords like didn't do anything, but like I'm sure they had to have known that Rita was a part of June's escape this time. So
Season 4, episode 9.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
I knew somebody was going to bring it up. So
yeah, this is a family right then and there. It's like in this scene, you have the feeling no one will ever break this bond. During season 4, we all got a little bit of, and in season 3, we got a little bit of up and down if they ever will get to be a real family again. And then we got season 4, episode 9, and I mean, it was true, right? That's a family. Even Bruce Miller admitted it.
Mm-hmm. They even have like the exact same like positioning because June is on the left and Nick is on the right. I think they did that intentionally.
Yeah, unfortunately, the baby was not in his arm, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But she was in the script, so.
I know.
They tried to parallel, but I guess working with babies, you do what the babies say. Yeah.
Right.
It was cute too, because he wasn't pushing her that she was coming to him. So I liked that part, even though I hated that she doesn't come to him.
It was very Nick-like. It'd be cool to see one more reunion between them. I don't know that we will get that, but it would be nice to see.
And in both scenes, they laugh together.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it before, that this is the only scene they really truly laugh and are happy together. It's for real, completely. And I was thinking about the fact that Nick probably hasn't felt complete forever, because we knew that he comes from a very complicated family, and I think he hasn't felt full in his heart forever. And when June gave him that moment, it was like the first time, and then she gave it back to him again in season 4. So I really loved that.
I also love that they finally say mutual I love yous that we see in season 4, episode 3. Because here he's too overwhelmed to respond, but you don't need to. We know, very well that they love each other, that he loves her. But then I just like having the one time where they both say it to each other. And I also like that he doesn't say I love you too. He just says I love you. Like, I don't know, somehow it's more meaningful. And I'm very glad we got that mutual I love you moment in 4-3.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I really don't like, I mean, we don't say it like this here, but every time I hear in a series or something, if somebody says I love you too, it's kind of making it a bit more or less.
I know. I can't even put my finger on it. Like I've tried to describe it in my head or on paper, and I can't say why, but it feels like less like.
So I'm so happy that they don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was watching, it struck me at the window, when she's leaving or she's going to be leaving with the baby, he looks up at her, he nods. And it feels at that moment like, is that it? That's their goodbye? Like all he's going to get is a nod and a look through the window. And then, you flash forward into season 3, season 4 even, and we get many more moments where they're together, but each one is a goodbye. But like the 4-3 was, so poignant because it was a goodbye, but we got, I love you, mutual. So I like that, at the time we didn't know it, but I like that they've gotten more moments, better moments, the opportunity to actually express themselves and not just this hurried goodbye and a look out the window. So I'm glad, we got reunions past that, obviously.
But you're right. I never really noticed that fact that after this point, they are basically, every time they see each other, it's a goodbye again. Oh my God. Yeah. And every time it's like different, their goodbye. I mean, even in the next episode, they can't even, okay, it's more than a nod, but take care.
Yeah. I put down another note that I had, the parallel of Emily almost killing Aunt Lydia to June's almost killing Aunt Lydia in season 4, episode 3. I think it's interesting because I think Emily would have actually gone through with it had Cora not stopped her, but June hesitated. So it was interesting the difference. They both had the opportunity where they could have.
I also think Margaret Atwood is probably the one that saved Lydia here, because I've seen some interview at some point where Bruce said that she told him to keep her alive, right?
I think so too.
I'm sure, she was writing the testaments, which heavily involve her. So I would have preferred she die in this episode, just because the bad guys have not gotten punished really much yet, right? I mean, but now they have, but not by the end of season 2. Yeah. So I was ready for somebody to get payback.
Yeah, right. But I love that she's going to be kept around because I love Endor so much, and she's
amazing,
terrifying, and then she's nice. I mean, season 3 when she's in Chicago with June, there are so many moments where she's really pathetic with the girls. Yeah, I love that progression of her because we always saw in her that there are glimpses of humanity left, and especially with Janine. So I really like that we get to see more of that.
I was just revenge happy. I just want someone to die. Because
I know. I mean, we got
eventually. Yeah, no, we totally get it eventually. I'm very happy with what we got. I'm good.
But with all these attempts on Lydia's life, it's like she has 9 lives.
Yes. Yeah. Especially this one, this Emily one. Come on. How did you survive that? I don't even know how you survived filming that. That looked rough.
Yeah.
Like she fell down the stairs. She would have had multiple fractures and maybe a cracked skull
and then she kept kicking her.
A lot of injuries. Yeah.
She isn't able to walk for a long time, right? She's using the
little scooter. Yeah. At the beginning of season 3.
Yeah.
The scooter?
Yeah,
she has like a little motorized scooter she was rolling around in the beginning of season 3.
How do I not remember that? That's really funny. Cut that. I should remember it. I'm gonna go watch it. That sounds delightful.
I remember because it was brown. It matched her whole outfit. Like I was like, Gilead really cares about aesthetics. They got her a little brown scooter.
Yeah, and she's out for a while because the other aunt takes over. So yeah, it really hit her hard. If we talk about that, I loved the comment of June saying Emily should think about her commander falling into a wood chipper. And I was thinking anyone, but please don't kill off Lawrence.
I know.
We want him around, right?
Right. I love Lawrence. What do they do with the guy that she killed at Jezebel's?
Winslow,
thank you. What do the Marthas do to get rid of Winslow?
They throw him in a furnace.
An incinerator. Yeah.
So there you go. More revenge for me. I guess there's plenty. I had just noted, or I had just been thinking this week too, because we just found out that Alexis Bledel is not coming back for season 5, and it's really sad because I really love Emily. And I was just thinking about how like Janine and Emily are, my 2 favorite non-June handmaids, and how very opposite they are, even though they're friends, and even though like they both survive really well. I mean, I guess Emily just gets lucky though, because she's just so angry that she never, ever, ever accepts Gilead, and she won't.
Yeah.
She won't even pretend to. She doesn't go along with. She doesn't smile. Like she's miserable the whole time she's in Gilead, and she's angry the whole time she's in Gilead, and that's perfectly like that's how I think I would feel. But in order to survive, you kind of need to adapt. And Janine goes the whole polar opposite extreme with that, and she is like super happy, goes along with all the Gilead stuff like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how polar opposite they are, and how much I love them both. And I hate that we're not going to get the angry Emily, especially now that they're in Canada and nobody else understands June.
Yeah.
Moira's found her peace, which is lovely, but it's not lovely for June, being, she needs somebody to understand her better. And Luke is not it. I don't know what they're going to do about that in season 5, but if they, whatever. I trust the writers. They're amazing. I just really hope that it all fits within characters that they've built.
Yeah, I'm curious what they're going to like, what the story is going to be about Emily. Like, does she just like want to have like a normal life? Because that doesn't seem like, who Emily is, so I'm wondering how they're going to like write off her departure.
Yeah, I have the theory that Syl is going to say no to June, that she can't come back to her, and that they will leave because she noticed that Emily was doing what she did
that night in season 4
and wants to get her better help somewhere else, far away from June. That's the only thing I came up with.
Maybe
we would see.
Well, my personal theory is that Emily is going to leave her family because it's something that we assumed that June was going to do at the end of season 4. That she was going to leave Luke and Holly.
Yeah.
But my theory is that Emily is the one who ends up doing it, which means that June won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a hard time picturing what they're going to do with Emily gone.
I'm sad that we don't get Emily work with the Resistance and meet Lawrence again. Because I was hoping that we get that.
Yeah, I'd like to see her run into Lawrence again. I like in the next episode when he tells June, like, she asks why he helped her, and he's like, well, I liked her. I like her too. Anyway, I really miss Emily. I think it's really sad. I think she was an awesome part of the cast, and she got Emmy nominated every year, so she did a great job.
The part where Serena talks in front of the council, and her and Fred have a power standoff, and Fred kind of wins in the end. And I mean, not kind of, he wins. And it's like Fred is always in power here over her. Yeah. And then we go to season 4, them in Canada in prison, and basically she manages all his stuff, and she's like the powerful woman again, and he has no say anymore.
Right.
And I mean, I love that he gets the...
I like also that she blindsided him and she tricked him into it, because like in this episode, she trusts him that he's not going to cut her finger off.
Yes.
And he does. And then he trusts she's not going to drive him into Canada, but she does.
As much as I hate Serena as the character, but I love that she got her little revenge there, because I hate Fred even more. So it was a good moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, speaking of, she lost her finger, something that really struck me was the scene where in this episode where he drops the wedding ring on the table. It's very similar to the end of season 4 when the guy rips open the package and dumps out Fred's wedding ring along with his finger that they were bringing to Serena. So it's like she lost her finger, but in season 4, she's going to get his back and his wedding ring. So she ends up breaking even on fingers.
That was poetic justice. I love
that. I'm sad that she probably doesn't get to see it, but because I don't think that they will pass that on to her.
I probably said this before, but like the show suspends reality occasionally, and we accept that, and it's fine. And if there was ever a time to do that, it was now. Like, give her the mail, let her drop the finger out. I mean, if you're gonna send her a finger, do it right. I wish we'd gotten to see that moment. That sucks.
So I was thinking about Nick's line in episode 10 of season 4, where he says that you did this to yourself, Commander, before he gets killed by June and her fellow handmaids. And then I went back to these moments with Fred and Serena and how he abused, well, obviously June, but also Serena. Yeah. And the reason he ends up in that prison in Canada is because he abused Serena.
Yeah.
And basically that gave June the opportunity to get rid of him eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
So everything that happened to him is actually a direct consequence of his own actions.
Right.
Just like Nick said, you did this to yourself, Commander.
I wish I felt like he understood, like he really took that in, but instead he's saying it's lunacy or whatever he's saying, and I know what he truly believes. Well, at least he felt fear. She did good there.
I just have one more note. I love that the ending song is burning down the house, and we see Serena burning down the house in the next episode.
Yeah, I always think when I think back that it was the same episode that
I know, right? I think that too.
Yeah, and every time I see this episode, I was like, oh, they foreshadowed it.
Yeah.
The last point I have is basically a question because we see Emily being at a really low point. I think we never have gotten to see her that freaking out and that low. Even in the colonies, she was more resolved and not as freaked out. And here she's suicidal and everything. And I wonder if they ever got her psychological treatment after that, because she comes to Canada soon, and we see her get the checkups of about her health, her bodily health, but they never say if she gets psychological treatment, and if somebody needs it, it's her, even over June, I guess, because wow, it's really gone off the rails.
Yeah, I guess we don't see like June getting offered therapy either. I know.
Yeah, I know.
I think that Bruce said that she did. So I don't know. I wonder if that's like a typical thing for like refugees of Gilead if they get offered mental health counseling. But I mean, Canada's healthcare system is better than the US, but in the US it probably would not be like a service that's just given to every refugee that comes in.
Yeah, I hope she got it, because I mean she looks a bit better by the end of season 4. Was it in episode 10 or 9 when she sits at the stairs with June? Because she looks not happy, but a bit clearer and more focused. And I hope it's because she's getting therapy. But then she goes off and kills Fred with June. So I don't know.
She still seems very not okay to me, sort of.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, is this the only time? No, not the only time. Lawrence. Okay. So one of the only times where a third person discusses Nick and June or acknowledges their relationship was this episode, because Rita says your girlfriend's a badass, and then Nick talks to Lawrence about it. But one of my big disappointments in the show, I guess, is June not talking to anybody else about it, especially at this point in season 4 when she could talk to Rita about it. She's in Canada with Rita. Rita would understand. She could talk to Emily about it. Emily fell in love in Gilead, but it would be nice to hear her acknowledge it to an outside person.
I think she did it really on purpose, because she seems to have wanted to bury the feelings for Nick, because it hurts too much. And she tries to not think of him ever. I mean, she does with Holly.
I don't like that thought.
I know.
Things about him.
The fact that she got to meet him in episode 9 clearly opens that door again. Yeah. And she can't stop now thinking of him. And we know that they then proceeded to fuck Fred up together. So I think hopefully they go there in the next season, because now there's no need to not think about him, because she knows if she really wants to, she can see him again.
And she's made her choice, like, pretty obviously.
Yeah, right.
Even such that Elizabeth Moss said after the 4th season, you know, it's obvious she's in love with Nick. She wants to be with Nick. Anyway, I think that's a wrap on our deep dive into season 2, episode 13, and all of season 2. So come back next week to discuss season 3, episode 1 with us. Thanks for listening. Bye.
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 You know, I think about us, the 3 of us, what we could be. I think about it all the time.
Please. It's terrible.
No, it's not. I know June. She's my friend. I care about her. How's her day going? You look pretty.
Thanks. I wore it just for you. Her father's a driver named Nick. He helped me to survive. Yes, you can, because I can't lose you.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
What about you?
Your girlfriend is a badass.